A former senior producer of Tucker Carlson's show, who used to be a senior producer for Fox News host Maria Bartiromo's show, a woman by the name of Abby Grossberg. She sued Fox News. Essentially, Ms. Grossberg believed she was being set up as the scapegoat or the fall guy in the gigantic Fox Dominion defamation lawsuit. And so now, former Fox News producer Abby Grossberg is expected to be a witness for Dominion. And man, she has the receipts. It turns out that Abby Grossberg had been recording, using an app on her phone, discussions between Bartiromo and key figures in this case. Figures like Trump attorney Rudy Giuliani.
In the latest in the Dominion versus Fox News case, the Delaware judge has sanctioned Fox News after learning that they withheld records until just before the trial. This gives Dominion another chance to collect evidence from Fox and potentially seek new depositions. Judge Eric Davis also suggested that he'll probably involve a third party to investigate the withholding of information and properly address the, quote, troubling situation.
Mr. Giuliani seems pretty candid about the fact that he really has no evidence that there is anything wrong with the Dominion voting machines.
I'm going to be asking you for as much evidence as you can tell us about these lawsuits. Whatever you can tell us in terms of evidence would be really helpful. Okay, great.
I can tell you exactly what we have.
Perfect. And what about this software, this Dominion software?
That's a little harder
troubling
to tell you. Right, it's being analyzed right now. I mean, there are a couple of races that have been reversed because the Democrat was triple counted, two already in Michigan. Now, whether that applies for the whole state or not, I can't tell you yet.
This Dominion software, does Nancy Pelosi have an interest in it?
I've read that. I can't prove that.
The troubling evidence that was withheld included recordings of Rudy Giuliani admitting that he didn't have evidence to back up his allegations against Dominion voting systems, just before going on air and accusing Dominion of rigging the 2020 presidential election results. After no evidence was found to support the knowingly false claim, a claim that was repeated by several high-ranking officials on the Trump team, including Giuliani and Trump himself, Dominion sued Fox for $1.6 billion for defamation. So how did we get here? Well, on top of the Dominion defamation suit against Fox News, the network is also being sued by one of its former producers, Abby Grossberg. Grossberg worked on Tucker Carlson's and Maria Bartiromo's show, and to cover her own bases, she started recording conversations between Fox News hosts and executives and the guests who were knowingly going on air to peddle the voting machine lie. In discovery for her case against Fox, Grossberg handed over the recordings. She claims to have made the recordings known to Fox News, but the tapes were never presented as evidence in discovery for the trial against Dominion. The judge, according to reports, is already fed up with the Fox legal team, and while the outcome of the case will ultimately be determined by a jury, the judge can now determine how the trial plays out in a few ways, including sanctioning the defendant at the defendant's expense. That means that whatever it costs Fox News to, say, sit for additional depositions or supply additional evidence or make sure that certain parties are present, etc., they'll have to pay it.
This is a call between Maria Bartiromo and Trump campaign officials themselves.
Are any of the machines, I know it was on War Room the other day with Steve Bannon, have any of the machines been looked at? He had said that one was looked at in Georgia.
I'd have to check on that in terms of Georgia. I know during the audit they did check on those machines. They're really, if we can just go off the record for 1 sec here.
Yeah, of course. I don't want us to say it if it's not. That's why we're checking.
I think they have looked at the machines. When the Secretary of State did its audit, there was a fair bit of looking at the machines. The audit came in pretty darn close to what the machine count was with the receipts. So, I don't know the outcome of those, but our understanding, again, this is from the Secretary of State's office, was that there weren't any physical issues with machines on those inspections.
Today, Thursday, is supposed to be the jury selection for the trial, and the trial is supposed to start on Monday. Rupert Murdoch himself is expected to be one of the first witnesses to take the stand, with Dominion calling him up. Fox News had previously tried to prevent Rupert Murdoch from testifying on the grounds that he was in his 90s and that his testimony would be irrelevant, but the judge overruled those objections and determined that Murdoch's testimony is in fact very relevant to the trial. The revelations in these tapes are so crucial because the crux of the case isn't so much that Fox News was airing misinformation, it's that they were doing so intentionally with the understanding that there was no evidence to support the allegations they were platforming against Dominion. I keep saying the word knowingly because that's what will cause Fox to lose this case, whether or not it can be proven that they acted with malice against Dominion, knowingly spreading lies about the company, knowingly damaging its reputation, and knowingly costing the company money and future earnings. These recordings make Dominion's job a whole lot easier. Now, the Fox lawyers, why would they do this? They could potentially lose their license to practice over something like this. So what would be in it for them to withhold information on behalf of their client apart from the obvious explanation that they thought it would help them win the case? Well, there is some suggestion that perhaps Fox News withheld the recordings even from their own legal team until now, but that's unconfirmed. If that is the case, though, there's a possibility that the legal team could take legal action against their current client sometime in the future, to which we all say, that's what you get for taking on this particular client. This trial is a long time coming and many of us are keeping a close eye on it because it has some major implications as far as what it could mean for the future of Fox News and its integrity as a journalistic establishment. Public trust among its viewers is lower than ever, yet the network still manages to draw viewers every night and make headlines. The damage has already been done in many ways. Those who most ardently believe in what's come to be known as the big lie won't be swayed by the outcome of the Dominion case. They're already too far gone. But for those viewers who still have some semblance of free thought, it should make a difference if it hasn't already. If those leaked text messages haven't already. If these recordings haven't already. A part of me wants to sympathize with them. They hold conservative values, and this is the network they got. They put their trust in the wrong place, and their network happened to be lying to them. But at least the network embodies their values better than, say, MSNBC or CNN. But there's two sides to this kind of work. You give the facts first, and then you have a chat. But you give the facts first, and Fox News just wasn't doing that first part. You don't have to agree with the chat or the opinion portion. You don't have to like a particular presenter. You don't have to agree with the analysis or the framing of the issue. But you have to start from the same place, the facts. Without those established facts, hosts on Fox News were basically just having chats about politics and social issues the way your Republican in-laws do at brunch. The journalistic integrity of the network and its hosts will and should be called into question over this because it's one thing to make a mistake, that happens, but it's another thing entirely to knowingly lie to your audience. All right, that's it for me. If you got anything out of this, please like and subscribe to the channel and be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Thanks.